First off, what we initially do is watch this window where we start modeling or opening existing projects or new projects. First thing we have to see is the models panel where we have the option to open an existing model or create a new Revit model. Then we have the panel of families where we open existing families or new families. Then if we have Autodesk Docs or Construction Cloud license, we can open the projects from this tab or watch some new insights, which is some visualizations of sustainability about the designs that you have created. Then we have the panel of models, the project. This is the project that you have been working on, where you can open directly these projects from the thumbnail that you see here, which is the last picture or the last visualization or view that you were working on. Initially, we will click on new project so we see how we start from scratch using Revit. After clicking, we'll see this new window that appears, which is the template we will be using, which by default we get these two options, which are multidiscipline, imperial, which is feet, and the other template, which is metric, which are meters. Then we have the browse button, which is basically where we can find other templates that are by default created with the installation of Revit. Here we find plumbing, mechanical and electrical, which is MEP, and as well we find the the structural, and I don't see the architectural. So we will start with the metric, the multidiscipline imperial template. So after opening the new project, we will have these panels. We find one upper panel which we have the tabs to model all the disciplines of the project, from architecture, structure to the systems, and we also have some other tabs for the management of all the whole file. Then we have the properties panel, which will show us all the different properties of each element that we select. And at the left, we will have the project browser, which is all the views that we have in our project. From architectural, electrical, and all the MEPs, to the schedules and quantities, to the sheets of the project. So this template had a lot of sheets already created, but we will teach you how to create new templates from scratch, as well as schedules and quantities. Now, we will start by creating the architectural elements, which are, as we see, walls, uh, doors, and all these elements that appear here in the build tab. So with these elements, we will create our first building. Then we have the circulation elements, which are stairs, railings, and ramps. And within the architectural tab, we also find some tags for the rooms, and we can create the shafts for the elevators and some other annotation elements such as grids. Then to to start using Revit is very easy because we can start creating whatever we want, but I suggest creating the walls at first. So if we click walls, then we go to the and watch the properties panel to see what wall are we creating. You see, we're creating a basic wall, which is the family, and the type is generic wall of 8 inches. And that's not the only wall that we have created within this file. We have plenty of walls, which are family basic wall and different other types besides the generic wall that we have seen. We can select any wall that we want that can be generic to start. Then we can give some more detail to the building, selecting other walls with insulating and other systems such as insulated eaves, brick, etc. Now we are ready to start. We can click once and then click the second time to create our first wall. So it's that simple. We just start creating the building that we want with the form that we want, and we will have our first plan. If we touch one wall, we'll see that we have the dimensions here from this point to from this point to this point. Then we can extend that selection from this button to know what's the distance between these 2 points. The same applies to the other walls. So we very fast have the dimensions of our building. If we want to change the dimension from this point to this point, we select the wall we want to move, and we then put the dimension that we want, which can be 70 feet, and it will change immediately. The same here, we have 40 feet, but we want to do 30. We type 30 and hit enter to change the distance. Other thing that we can do is select the wall and extend with the click still clicked, and we can move our wall to the position that we want. Is that easy? Is easier than any other software of modeling that I know, and this is the most complete of all of them. Another thing that we have to do before going to create the doors is that we click when clicking one wall, we go to the properties panel, and we will see the the properties of that element per se. We see that we have this button and we have other properties outside of this button, which are the elements properties. And these are the type properties. So what we do inside of this button will apply to all of the walls that are of the same type. But if we do change something up outside of this button, I mean here in this panel, it will only apply to the selected wall. And this applies to any element. So we can see that this wall is unconnected and it has 20 feet high. So uh, as we open the 3D model, I'm gonna show you by clicking this one in the plan, in the 2D plan, and it will be selected in the 3D plan as well. Um, and I'm gonna proceed to change the height to 10 feet. And this will apply in the 3D and in all the views that we have. If I select in the architectural the south elevation, I'm gonna see that this wall has also as well been restricted to 10 feet. So as we do one thing, it will automatically be updated in other views, I mean in the whole project. Then we also have the option to connect it to the level 2. So it now is restricted to the level 2, and if I change the elevation of the level 2, it will change the height of my wall. So I'm gonna proceed to select all the walls, and as it has different properties, it varies. So as I put that all of them are restricted to level 2, it will now display this new configuration. What is left to do is to set up the levels of the project to the height that we want. It can be 6 feet. I mean, 3 meters. If I put this, it will also recognize it, which is 9 feet. Now, as we are here, let's set up the levels of our project. So it will be a 2-story commercial building. So I select one level and then copy it to create the level 3, which will be the roof level. and it will put the L3 as the new name. If I create another one by hitting copy to to the modify panel on top, we'll create the level 4 and it will display the measures that this level has. So we have already set up our project to create the next elements from the architecture panel.